Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Just had a great surprise. My year 5 class that this session's aimed at mainly, they've all decided today they're going to get dressed up in all their fancy dress. Mr. Martin's all in his fancy dress, all the children in the fancy dress. It's brilliant. Thank you, everybody. Right, today's session is going to be a nice, simple fitness session. We're going to have 7 activities that we're going to run through. What you are going to need, if you are joining me and you don't know what equipment you're going to need, you're going to need either some rolled up socks, that you can use those, or if you can, just run off quickly because we've got a few minutes whilst we warm up and just get sorted. Just go off and get a couple of cuddly toys from up in your bedroom. If you don't have any, your brothers and sisters might have any, might be able to borrow some and bring them down because we're going to use these within the session today. Okay. What we're going to need to do first is make sure that you've got an area you can work in. Doesn't really matter how wide it is. The first exercise we're going to do is some side stepping. All you need to do for that one is just place the items that you've got as wide as you can in the area that you're working in. This room I'm in now is not very wide. If I was in the hall, I could make this a little bit longer. Okay. The second one we're going to do is just going to be some running, throwing and catching. We're then going to do a little bit of plank work down there. We're going to make it a little bit different. That's going to be the hardest one of all that you're going to do. We're going to do some star jump transfers. So we're going to do star jumps with your toy. We're going to transfer at the top and then come back down. Okay. I'll explain them all again just before we start them. We're going to do some throws with some squats in. Okay. We're going to do some round the world. So we're going to go round the waist. We're going to go round the leg, and we're going to go round the other leg. So we're working our legs as well as doing some ball transfer work. And then we're going to do a little speed bounce. You can just put the toys on the floor, and we're just going to do some little speed bounces across those. They will be your 7 activities, and we're going to do all of those twice. Okay? It's going to be 1 minute of effort, and then you're going to get a little 30-second rest. Okay? So if you're working really, really, really hard and really fast, then you might not make it for the whole minute. So if you think a minute's a long time, what you might do is you might take it a little bit slower to start with, okay, and then speed up towards the end. I've got a timer set. Unfortunately, I can't get that set up anywhere so you can see it, but you should be able to hear it. So towards the end of each activity, it will beep once to say, I think it's 5 seconds left. And then it will beep 3 times on a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then that'll either mean stop the activity and you have a rest, or finish your rest and start the next activity. Okay? All we're going to do first is just get nicely warmed up. So I just want you just jogging on the spot. Do it nice and steady to start with. This being the warm-up, you don't want to do anything too crazy. You can do the hard work when we start the activity. Just do a couple of little star jumps, not too big. Just get that heart going a little bit. Okay, now just raise those legs, just kick them up a little bit. Just stretch ourselves out a little bit before we start. Okay, just come down and have a little stretch because we're going to do some side stepping in a minute, and that's going to mean reaching out to the right and reaching out to the left. So just want to stretch if we can. So just lean over on one leg, feel the stretching there, I can feel it. And then lean over the other side, just stretching there. Going to have 1 more minute and then we're going to get started. Okay, just knee down on the floor. Okay, I just want you to just lean over, just stretch out, hold the back of your leg, just stretch that out. There, so we're stretching in here, our quadriceps. Okay, and then just change over. This is the easier way of doing it without wobbling everywhere. Now, my year 5s, I hope you enjoy this, especially with the, like I said, all your dressing up. Mr. Martin, be careful with that tie around your head whilst you're getting on with these exercises. Right, 15 seconds before we start. So the first one, you're going to go across touch with one hand, touch with the other, and we're just going to do that for 1 minute, nice and quick, side stepping there and back. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, and off we go, 1 minute. So you don't have to go too fast because we're going to be doing this for a while. Make sure we're stepping out and reaching down into there. If you can keep your head up, that's good. Make sure we're not turning and touching like that. Okay, make sure we're reaching with the nearest hand to get that down. Nearly halfway. Try and speed it up now if you can for the last 30 seconds. This one should get us nice and warm, ready for the next 6 activities to come. 10 seconds left. Last little bit, really speed it up now, get the last few in. Okay, and have a rest. If you haven't already, you can get a grown up to get you a drink. So you maybe can have a little drink in between each exercise. That might be helpful. You shouldn't need too much during this kind of exercise. Okay, next one, you need to pick up one of your items. And we're just going to do running and catching. So we're going to run on the spot, but at the same time, we're going to be practicing our throwing and catching. Okay? Off you go. 1 minute. If you want to count how many catches you can do and try and beat that next time round, that's up to you. If you drop it, just pick it up and carry on again. If you want to run a little bit faster, you can. If you want to take it easy, you can as well. To make it a bit harder for some of you that are good at, really good at catching, you can always try throwing it up and catching one-handed. Okay. Just after halfway. And now try and get those knees up a little bit higher for that last 30 seconds. Not sure about you, but I'm getting a little bit out of breath already. Last 10. Now stop there and have a little breather. Okay, now this one's a little bit tricky. This is the up-down plank. So you're going to need one item one side, one the other, into plank. Okay, you're going to come up, and you're going to get that item and move it over here, that item and move it over there, and then go back down again. Either with your knees down or with your legs up, that's entirely up to you. If you find it really difficult, have a little rest and then start again. Okay, off you go. So up, take that one over there, that one over there, then back down again. Back up, move those across, trying to make sure we're keeping our back nice and still, we're not twisting everywhere, and we're moving things up and down. And if you get tired, you can drop your knees down, makes it a little bit easier. Okay, if you can, try and keep them up and just move those across. Like I say, this is the hardest one out of all of them. You will feel this in your shoulders, in your arms, in your stomach, in your abdominals. Okay, 10 seconds left. Get those last couple in, and we can have a little rest. Okay, and have a little breather. Okay, the next one we're going to do is going to be star jump transfer. So this one is just simply doing a star jump. When you do the star jump, when you get to the top, you're going to change that over, bring it down the other side. So up, change, back down again. Okay, 10 seconds left. Okay, off we go. So up and change there, look. Make sure we're bringing our arms all the way down, arms all the way up. Again, take it nice and steady. We've got a whole minute to work through. If you go too fast, you might end up not making it through the whole minute. Nearly halfway. If you do want to speed it up, you can. Just try and make sure we're transferring well at the top. Again, if you do drop it, pick it up and just carry on again. If that's too hard for you now, you can just do the transfer part of it at the top. That'll work your shoulders, okay? Okay, I'll stop there. Right, Hannah, make sure you have a good breather now. Next one we're going to do is squat catch. So a squat is nice and simple, legs nice and wide. I just squat down nice and low and then push back up. All we're going to do is throw up and catch at the bottom of the squat to push back up again. So throw it up and catch at the bottom of the squat, okay? Off you go. So up and catch. This one's better done nice and slow rather than trying to do it too fast. And just try and catch right there at the bottom and then push back up. You can make it slightly different by going wider, okay? Or you can come in a little bit narrower, whichever is comfortable for you. Again, we're practicing that throwing and catching. For those that are really good, again, you can practice throwing and catching one-handed. 15 seconds left. Should start to be feeling this in the tops of our legs now, and those quadricep muscles should be starting to feel that start to work. Okay, stop there. Now the next one, we're going to incorporate a little bit of ball transfer, but also incorporating a little bit of a lunge. So you're going to transfer around your middle, lunge forward, transfer around that leg, back, lunge forward, transfer around that leg and back. So it's waist, leg, leg and back. Okay? Okay, so around your waist, lunge forward, step back, lunge forward, step back, back around your waist. Again, this is not one that you need to race with. Take your time with it. Try and be accurate with your transfer of the item. Don't rush it where you're going to drop it. If you want to try a little bit faster, you can try a little jump in there. So there, and jump, rather than just stepping forwards and backwards. So waist, round, jump and round again. This will link in a little bit with basketball skills. So through there, down there, down there. This is a good one to have after the squat. It's still working similar parts of the body. 10 seconds left. 3 seconds in fact now. And you can have a stop. So, last one of the 7 before we have a bigger rest. You're going to get 2 items. Place them neatly on the floor like so. Okay. And you're just going to stand at one side. We've all done this loads of times in school. You're just going to jump over, come back, okay? Again, you can go as fast or as slow as you want for this activity. Okay, so 2 feet, over we go. Just get a nice rhythm. Try not to squish your teddy bears, especially if they're your brothers or your sisters. This is all about balance. Try and keep your head nice and central, looking forwards. Again, if your legs start to hurt, have a little bit of a rest. Make sure everything's in the right place. Then just go again. We will have a nice long rest in a minute. You can go and grab a drink. It really is making my legs hurt now. Last few seconds. And stop there. Okay, right, we've got a 2-minute break now. So you can get yourselves a drink. Go Give those muscles a bit of a shake out. Try not to sit down. I'll try and get my breath back. Right, hopefully you're enjoying this first part. So now you know what's coming. We're going to do all 7 of those again. It's now down to you to think, right, did I go away too hard the first time round? Can I take it a little bit easier? Or maybe you think you went off a little bit too slow and you could put a little bit more effort in this time round. If your legs are aching a little bit, maybe just give them a stretch out during this little minute we've got left before we start again. And we can clearly see Mr Geeson needs to do more of these a week. So the first one we'll need our items out there for doing our side stepping. Remember the importance of this side stepping one. Again, it's linked into the activity we've done this week and the competition that Glyn did this week. To side step out there and lean on that leg. Stops us having to go so far. Okay, makes it easier to get down and touch. If we get really close, we're then having to almost squat down to touch the item. Okay, rather than just reach and lean. We're looking for that lean across. Okay, so 5 seconds to go and we'll start again. Okay, off we go. So little side steps and a touch on the item. Try and keep yourself all facing forwards. Remember, we don't want to be turning across this kind of distance. Maybe while you're doing it, you could be thinking what sport we might use this in. Okay, we'd use this kind of movement in quite a few activities. Maybe sometimes a bit more explosive than this in terms of changing direction, but side stepping is used a lot in sports. Okay, things like tag rugby, we do a lot of side stepping. Basketball, we'd side stepping there to defend. Probably netball as well. Okay. And stop there. So 30 seconds rest. So you just need one item now. This next one will be the running on the spot and the catching. Remembering we can do one-handed catches if we want. Okay, if you want to, you can add a clap in there. Again, just to make it that little bit trickier. It's up to you what you do with the catching, really, as long as we're moving while we do it, okay? Okay, off you go. So little throws and catches, two-handed, one-handed, do one hand to the same hand, one hand to the other hand. If you want to move across while you're doing it, that's okay. Or if you want to move backwards and forwards while you're doing it, if you've got a good space, you might be able to do a little bit more movement with those steps. If you haven't, then just use the space that you've got. You can get those knees a little bit higher this time, just for this last half. We shouldn't be hearing it stomping on the floor. It should be relatively quiet. It should be landing on the balls of our feet, not on the whole of our foot. Last 10 seconds of this one. And stop there. Okay, have a little breather. I'm going to change which one I'm using now. In fact, we need both of them because this is the worst one. So pop your items down there. So we're doing that up-down plank, transferring the items as we get to the top. Transfer one across, transfer the other. Really important we try and keep ourselves as steady as we can doing this. We're not wobbling around all over the place. Try and keep that back nice and flat. We don't want to be like that, okay? Go down. We don't want to be up here. We want to be flat, up, take that one across, take that one across, and slowly and controlled back down. I'm not talking much through this one because it's quite hard. And if you need a little breather like I do right now, you can always pop your knees down, take a little bit of the weight off, but still carry on doing the exercise. 10 seconds left. There's nothing wrong with modifying it as you go to make it that little bit easier so that you can continue. You're better off changing it to make it a bit easier, continuing with the activity, than you are stopping completely. Okay, so if you can change it, then feel free to change them, make them a little bit easier. Obviously, if it's too hard still, have a little breather and then join on the next one. So this time we're going to have star jump transfers. So from there to the top, transfer back in again. Okay, off we go. Transferring that item at the top each time. To make it slightly different this time round, what we can do is get to the top, transfer to the back. So we can transfer behind, we can transfer in front, so we're sending all the way round, front, back. It's getting your coordination right, trying to get your legs and your arms going at the same time. If you lose your coordination, stop, get yourself back again, and then try again there, or just stick to the transfer at the top. You should end up in that position, you shouldn't end up there. Okay, so there to the top and back. Last 10 seconds. And stop there. Okay, nice little breather. Remember, have a tiny little bit of drink if you need one. Don't have a lot, because that won't make you feel any better. Hope you're enjoying at home. Please leave things in the comments, anything that you're enjoying, which is your favourite bit, anything that you'd like added in if I do one of these again. Got 10 seconds to go. Then we're doing squat catches this time. Okay, so throw it up, squat down to catch. It's actually one where you can get a little bit of breath back, whilst at the same time working those glutes and quads. Try and keep your back nice and try and keep your back quite upwards. Don't lean over. By catching, you're having to keep your head up, otherwise you're going to miss it. This just helps you stay in the right position when you're doing this activity. Again, you can go wider or you can go narrower, whichever's comfortable. You're trying to catch it at the lowest possible point, so going really far down. Don't catch it here, go all the way down, catch that right near the ground. 10 seconds left. And stop there. Okay, so next one is our round the world. So we can go round the waist, round there, round there. Like I said before, if you want to make it harder, you can go round that one. As soon as you've gone round, you can jump into that one rather than stepping back up again. That is a bit harder. So 10 seconds left. Get that breath in. 2 activities left. Okay, so round your waist, round your leg, round your leg. So trying, if we can, by taking our time, it allows us to get the lunge right. So round your waist, lunge in there, lunge in there. It's not about speed. The faster I go with this one, the less control I have. I tend to end up just poking it through my legs there rather than getting that lunge in to work your legs, okay? Again, all this ball handling or this handling of an item is good when it comes to playing any kind of sport that involves carrying, throwing, even hitting a ball. We can control a ball and manipulate it with our hands. It means that we can dribble better, throw and catch better, shoot better, and we can do all those things better, and we're going to be better basketballers or netballers or handballers. Okay, 30 seconds rest. This will be our last one. So again, quite a hard one this. Items down there. 1 minute of speed bouncing. Anyone whose parents are sat watching at the minute, maybe see if they can do this one. 1 minute's a long time to speed bounce for, and it is good for you. Okay, off we go. 1 last minute of exercise, then we'll have a little cool down at the end. So try and get that rhythm. Try and get your arms nice and relaxed and comfortable. You don't want them swinging all over the place. Try and keep them nice and controlled. Legs stay together. And we don't want to go too wide, because then we end up going a long way. I'll stay nice and close. Nearly halfway. And if this one starts to really hurt, have a quick shake out and carry on. "20 seconds. Last 10. And stop. Well done, everyone. Woo! Oh, I feel not tired out. I am. Okay, so we need to have a little cool down now. All I want us to do, just a really, really steady little walk on the spot. If we can feel now, those of you who've done this work with me in school, you should be able to feel that pulse rate. If you've got one of the watches on, your heart rate should be quite high now. What we want to do now is try and get that down as quickly and as controlled as we can. Okay, so little stretch, just crouch down, the elbows in your knees, just push your knees out. Okay, just push out there, push your knees outwards. Okay, hopefully you've enjoyed that, even though it's a little bit tiring. Okay, hopefully that's given you a good workout for the week. Just pop your knee down on the floor, just lean over that foot there, just to stretch out in there, put your hands down. Hopefully that's given you something of a good amount of exercise to do. Get that heart rate up, try and keep us fit and healthy. Being at home, I know at the moment, a lot of sitting, trying to get your work done. Okay, a lot of sitting at a computer. Really, really, really important that we still try and maintain some kind of activity every day of the week. Okay, there's loads of videos that I've done already on here. Feel free, if you don't like the one that I've done 1 week, just pick another one. Have a little go at it. Okay, just stretch out there. Use a wall if you need to, or like we did before, you can go down to the ground and pull that stretch out to do your quadriceps. Okay. And there's a few other live ones that I've done like this. You can come back and do this one again. Any of the ones on there. It's really important we try and keep ourselves active. If your mums and dads are going for a dog walk, ask them if you can join them. Just get out in the fresh air, nice walk, bit of exercise, just away from your screens a little bit. I know these are on your screens, it isn't ideal, but it's better than sitting with a screen. Okay. Just put your legs out nice and straight. I can't do this too well, some of you will. Just keep your knees, your legs straight, and just try and reach out for your toes there, just to stretch out. Okay. Seems we've done a lot of work on our throwing and catching. Just pull that arm across, stretch out there. So stretch your shoulder. And the other side. Okay, on our feet again. So what you should notice now, the heart rate's gone down. I know mine has. My breathing's slowed down a little bit. So we're getting back towards that point where we're recovered from that exercise. If you feel like you need to do a few more stretches, or you want to do a few more stretches, that's fine. You need to go get a nice drink, a little healthy snack, okay, and then you can get on with the rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again. Another live session, hopefully do another one at some point next week. Okay, bye-bye.